Yeah. Uh, and that is the basic difference between modern agricultural activities and traditional agricultural activities. Modern agricultural activities, on the other hand, is the agricultural activities which is carried out using advanced machineries, and the modern agricultural activities is more characterized by the use of pesticides, insecticides, and advanced farming techniques. And that is how the difference between the modern agricultural practices and the traditional agricultural practices. From this picture, it is very much clear that how manpower is used more in traditional agricultural activities and food crop production is being prioritized as against the uh, modern agriculture activities is more mechanized. So right from the plowing the land up till the harvesting, you see that everywhere there is the use of manpower in the traditional agriculture activities, whereas full mechanization is done in the modern agricultural practices. Now, most of the environmental problems that are associated with agricultural practices are more inclined towards the modern agricultural practices. And therefore, modern agricultural practices are more responsible for various environmental issues as compared to the other uh, form of agricultural activities. The first problem associated with the modern agricultural practice is the use of fertilizers. Now, as I told you a few minutes back, that modern agricultural activity is more associated with use of chemical fertilizers, which can give maximum output within a short period of time. Application of chemical fertilizers leads to increasing concentration of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium into the agricultural land. More often, the excess use of such chemical fertilizers cause imbalance in micronutrients, because since chemical fertilizers are in a chemical form, it artificially provides the fertilizers to the growth of crops, but that most of the times results in the nutrient imbalance in the soil, and hence the soil productivity is affected adversely due to use of chemical fertilizers. More often, the chemical fertilizers leach into the soil deep and down, and it also contaminates the subsurface aquifers or groundwater. Most often, when the excess fertilizers, that means the excessive nitrogen, phosphorus, enter into the surface water system or standing water systems, these excessive fertilizers more often cause overnutrition in the water bodies, leading to imbalance in the aquatic ecosystem and overgrowth of a particular species in the water body, that results in various problems which is named as eutrophication. Now, when chemical fertilizers are used to the agricultural field, the chemical fertilizers, and particularly nitrogen and phosphorus, that leach into the subsurface, and then the nitrogen or phosphorus which is in excessive form, that enter into the water body, and when it enter into the water body, that lead to overgrowth of algal algae into the water, and then the oxygen availability of oxygen in the land and water surface, that leads to the problem of dead water bodies, which is familiarly known as eutrophication. Use of pesticides is another important problem associated with modern agriculture. Pesticides are normally used to improve the crop production and also to protect crops from the pest or diseases. The use of pesticides kills the insects and bacteria in the agricultural field, but most often it also attack and kill non-targeted organisms or good bacteria also in the soil. And in that way, the organisms, microorganisms in the soil, which are important to improve the fertility of the soil and keep the nutrient balance in the soil, they are died or they are removed from it due to the application of pesticides and insecticides. Most of the pesticides that are used for agricultural produce are non biodegradable, and therefore they go on accumulating in the soil and the terrestrial food chain. And such continuous accumulation of non biodegradable elements or through pesticides is also called as bioaccumulation or biomagnification. And then the use of pesticides not only results in the bioaccumulation, but also it reduces the strength of the crop, and it also reduces the quality of the crop output. And such kind of crops used and produced from the application of pesticides also are not good for health, and they most of the time suppress the immune system of human being. In Delhi, for example, the DDT that is being used most frequently, accumulation of pesticides in Delhi have caused most of the common uh, health disorder, that premature deliveries, and it affects the uh, body of health of the pregnant women. This is how the pesticides are used for agricultural crop. Irrigation is another important issue associated with the agricultural practices. Modern agriculture is largely depend upon the use of irrigation facilities. There are various kinds of irrigation, but when the electricity has been used to extract water from surface and subsurface water sources, that led to overuse of water or overdrafting of water, which has resulted in depletion of underground aquifers or underground sources of water. Additionally, when the excessive irrigation is supplied to the agricultural field, the excessive water that percolates in the soil and also reach to the deep soils where different kinds of minerals and salts are present. And these salts are dissolved in the percolated water, and during dry season of or during dry spell of the year, due to capillary action, this water is evaporated from the subsurface, and along with this evaporated water, the salts come on the surface, and then the land becomes saline. And therefore excessive water through the canal irrigation, for example in Haryana, has resulted into salinization of land, and ultimately that reduces the crop productivity. Same is in case of Rajasthan wasteland, which is caused by over irrigation activities through Indira Gandhi canal project. So this is how the salinization process does go on. When excessive water, like flood irrigation, is applied to the agricultural field, the water is percolated deep into the soil, and then the groundwater is level is increased. But then when this water enter into the surface subsurface aquifers, most of the minerals and salts get dissolved in that water, and due to capillary action, this water is evaporated from the subsurface, and by this way the salts comes, or salts accumulate on the surface of the land, that results in the salinization of the land, and the land which is salinized look something like this. Soil erosion is one of the very common environmental problem associated with agricultural activities. The soil uh, include organic matter and nutrients particularly, and which is important to improve soil uh, productivity. But due to removal of soil cover from the earth surface by the way of various agricultural activities, the soil structure also changes, and it also reduces the water holding capacity. Improper plowing or agricultural practices also reduces crop productivity, and also the crops having less moisture become drought stress most often. And therefore the removal of soil cover not only reduces the amount of organic matter and nutrients and crop productivity of the soil, but also it results into the loss of quality of water and other natural resources. Silting of soil in the water bodies also degrades the water quality for human being. Now these are the some of the examples of gully erosion and subsurface splash erosion, due to which the soil cover is removed from the agricultural field, and that results in various environmental problems associated with soil. Monoculture is also responsible for various environmental problems. Monoculture refers to the cultivation of a single crop over a large area and over the long period of time. When one crop is cultivated in the field for years together, and only single crop is cultivated for years together, the nutrient balance in the soil that reduces, and the soil become unfit for any cultivation. And therefore monoculture, although is a very common type of agricultural practice, but in long run it has some disadvantageous effects on the soil, and therefore the cultivation of single crop normally require to support with or supplement with the chemical fertilizers so as to improve the agricultural productivity or crop production, but it has some long term effect, and therefore many chemicals are used through the chemical fertilizers and pesticides for commercial agriculture, particularly is also resulted into various environmental problems. So this is how the mono cultivation is carried out. Use of tractors. Now tractor is a very common machinery that is being, or equipment that is being used uh, for various agricultural processings. However, the tractors are large in size and they are heavier. Due to the tires of tractors, most of the time the soil in the agriculture get compacted, and when soil become compacted, the pore spaces in the soil reduces, and the water holding capacity or water retention capacity of the soil reduces to a large extent, and then the soil become unfit for any agricultural production. So application of tractor in the agricultural field is responsible for soil compaction, and which also reduces the strength of the soil as far as the agricultural productivity is concerned. Expansion of agriculture also results in deforestation. This is a very common impact on the environment, and large land is being converted from forest land to the agricultural field. Now, I was talking about soil compaction. This is how the soil compaction takes place, and the pore spaces reduces in the soil, and due to the devoid of pore spaces in the soil, its water retention and water absorption capacity also reduces to a large extent. Overgrazing is another important problem associated with agriculture. As a matter of fact, that in a country like India, domestication of animal is considered to be an important co-occupation with agriculture, and therefore we, domesticate the grazing animals. Now, overgrazing or excessive grazing implies the consumption of plant for by cattle, where by it creates damage to the ecosystem. Grasses are eaten by the animals, but the surface soil is also loosed and then degraded to a larger extent. And therefore, the uh, overgrazing that leads to the loss of not only vegetation but also the soil is degraded on a very larger scale, and that affects the loss of biodiversity. Removal of vegetation increases the turbidity of water, leading to the loss of topsoil and also siltation in the water storage areas, which again is a major problem. And due to overgrazing, slowly and steadily the fertility soil reduces, and slowly and steadily it get converted into desert like situations. So this is how the open grazing is a major problem. Other a very important problem associated with agriculture production and food supply is hunger. Hunger is the state of body without consumption of food or with consumption of very little food. It refers to the scarcity of food in a country, or it is caused by the scarcity of food in a country. People who are chronically hungry does not eat enough food to provide energy that they require for their active life. In fact, globally, if we talk about in numbers, 1 billion people out of around 7 billion population of the world on this planet go to bed hungry every night. So, around 16% of the world's population is hungry, and that is the reason why it is very, very important for us to focus on this. Malnutrition, on the other hand, is slightly different concept than the hunger. Malnutrition is considered to be the nutrient imbalance or nutrient deficiency in food consumption. Malnutrition and undernutrition are the two concepts used interchangeably, wherein the excessive malnutrition is called as over malnutrition or over nutrition, and sometimes if there is a less nutrition consumption in by the people, it is called as undernutrition. So in short, the inadequate consumption of nutritious food is responsible for malnutrition. The term undernutrition, on the other hand, is related to inadequate dietary intake, and malnutrition arises from deficiency of specific nutrients in the food. Various kinds of diseases are very much common when a person is malnourished or undernourished. and sometimes it become a fatal if the malnutrition is beyond a certain extent, and therefore the disease is a result of the malnutrition, and sometimes disease is also a cause of malnutrition, and it is a single factor contribution. It has a single factor contribution to various diseases that are spread in the entire world. Malnutrition also in early ages or in among the children also cause various physical and mental issues, and their growth is not considered to be very common among the children having undernutrition. If we talk about the global patterns of malnutrition and hunger, we find that around 795 million people in the world do not have enough food to eat. World's hungry people live in mostly in developing countries, wherein 780 million, which is 12.9% of the population, is undernourished. 14.7 million people are undernourished in developed countries. So if we compare the patterns of hunger in the developed and developing countries, we find that 780 million people are undernourished in developing countries, whereas only 14.7 million people is the undernourished population in the developed countries. Asia is the continent with hungriest people in the world, wherein two-thirds of the total world's hungry people live in Asian continent. And the poor nutrition causes nearly half of the death in children under 5, particularly in Asian subcontinent. Now let us have a look at the patterns, global patterns of hunger and malnutrition world over. The Food and Agriculture Organization of United States have uh, maintained the database of hunger and malnutrition. Now, if you look at the statistics of this, we will come to know that how unevenly the undernourishment is and hunger and undernourishment is spread across the world. Rich countries normally having less number of hungry people and undernourished people as compared to the poor countries or developing world of the uh, Eastern Asian subcontinent is having more number of undernourished people. So this is how. So if we look at the Africa, we find that Africa has a significantly large number of undernourished people, which is about 239.6 million people, which is up to 18.8% of the total world's population. But if you compare this with the North America, it is very much less. It is just 2 point less than 2.5%, and same is in case of South America. It is just 7.2% of the total world population. But if you talk about India, we find that it is up to 378.7%. I mean, million population which is hungry, and the Australia is also having significantly less number of undernourished population. So if you look at the global patterns, we'll find that Asia and Africa together have largest number of undernourished population as compared to other parts of the world. So that's how the world population is suffering from undernourishment in a large number. So that's how it is. Uh, this is all about the today's lecture. We will discuss rest of the points in the agriculture sector in the next lecture. Thank you.